So we should be live. Hello everyone. And welcome to Titan Quest. Yes, I had the opportunity to show this run 2 years ago already, but since then a lot of things have changed. And yeah, hopefully I will be about half an hour faster than last time. So let's see how good we can do. Yeah, Titan Quest. The black screens here, don't worry, I don't know why it just black screens during the main menu. It does sometimes. But yeah, I guess we can just jump right into the runs and I can explain a lot of things during the run. If you have questions, you can ask in the chat. I'm reading the chat, and yeah, let's just go. Create the character and start off with a new level 1 character. So the run just starts as soon as I start moving. So loading times are a thing. And I guess we can start the run if you're ready, F-Paul. Okay, then we can start in 3, 2, 1, go! So the nice thing at Titan Quest is that the biggest RNG part is right at the first 20 seconds of the run, because we need a certain setup in throwing weapons here. We didn't get the setup, but that's fine for me. I just have to just restart the game after I did the first part. Maybe I get some backup. Normally if I don't get the RNG here, I just reset. But we're in a marathon, so we can do that. Thanks for the good lucks. As I said, hopefully I won't need the luck. The worst luck part is actually it was right now. So the first thing we do is we actually kill the big satyr shaman, and yeah, it's kind of the first boss. You could actually skip him, but we need to get level 2 very fast, and he almost guarantees you to reach level 2 and get a set of some items, a little bit of gold that you can use, and that's basically all we need to get going for the run. So it's kind of convenient that we can do it. So back to Helos. And I think I didn't get a throwing weapon, so I need 2 throwing weapons that can be worn at level 2. I just reached level 2 now, and I think I can only use one of these throwing weapons. Yes, I can only use that one. So I have to go back to the main menu. That's something that you normally won't see in a regular run. This is marathon run only, because I need a second throwing weapon.
You're going out there, don't go unprepared. It's not safe.
And there we go. So the first thing that we do is we are spending some skill points, and we're getting 3 skill points at level 2, but I don't feel like only using 3 skill points. So I just duplicate some skill points. The thing is, if you spend multiple skill points in one frame of the game, the calculation that has to be done to spend the skill point is done in the next frame. But the game is actually capable of doing multiple of these calculations at once. So the thing is, it does the calculation multiple times simultaneously, and I can actually, if I spend multiple skill points in one frame, I actually do spend multiple skill points. And I can spend more skill points than I have, and the game doesn't really get what's going on and gives me more skill points than I have. So I just should need this and this, that one, and I think I don't even have enough points now. No, not yet. So if you remember the last run I did at this event for Titan Quest, you might notice that I used different masteries back then. I didn't use the rune mastery. We now use the rune mastery because the rune mastery is kind of broken, at least on a male champion. If you play a male character, just use that one. Oh, actually we need the rune weapon and we need the thunder strike. We need the rune weapon and the thunder strike, and we need the seal of fate right here. And I'm almost dying. You already see that I'm running quite fast, and we can do that a little bit better if we just equip the 2 throwing weapons, and let's just get going. So that's about the run speed that you'll see the most part of the run. Actually, why am I so fast? It's just because I am using 2 throwing weapons, and the walking animation for 2 throwing weapons with the male character is a little bit glitched. So if I start walking with this walking animation and then switch my weapons, and then my state changes in any form. There are multiple things that can happen to change your state, the state of a character. But if I change the state of my character after switching weapons while walking with this animation, the game gets confused and gives me way more movement speed than I should have. So normally the cap for movement speed is 166%. Currently I'm running about 220%. I can upgrade that to like 250. I'm still not at the normal. I'm still not at the normal cap. But yeah, that's the movement speed I currently have, roundabout. And yeah, I'm getting this fast movement speed because I'm also using the Sacred Rage. It's one of the passive skills from the Rune Mastery. And the Sacred Rage, it's a passive skill that gives you plus 42% total speed, well, movement speed and attack speed, as long as you have below 40% of your maximum health. So I currently have only 230 health out of my 1100 that I have. If I'm below 440 health, I get this movement speed bonus from the Sacred Rage, and that's what gives me the high base movement speed that I can boost further by using the movement speed glitch with the 2 throwing weapons. That's exactly what I'm doing the whole time here.
Okay, I want to say something. So
Yep.
my hosting shift is over, so I just give it now to the new host, Zed. Have fun
Yeah.
and good luck.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Alright, take care, thank you, and I'm taking over now.
Yeah. Nice to have you here, Zed. If you want to talk a bit with me during the run, it's totally okay. You can also just ask questions about the run if you want to. I'm fine with talking alone or together with you. Actually, almost died there because I didn't pay attention.
So maybe I shouldn't talk with you during the run if you almost die by not paying attention.
It's okay, it's okay. It'll get worse later. I already mentioned that I have to stay under 40% health of my total health to keep the running speed. The fun thing is that later in the game, the enemies deal so much damage that you almost die instantly. So that's when I need to pay attention.
I mean, that sounds like a very intense run that gets, you know, the more intense, the more you progress through it, and that's kind of a pretty nice dramatic touch that you get when running the game, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually exactly that. Spoiler alert, that you have to, in order to get the skill point duplication, your PC you either need a rather specific PC setup. I'm lucky to have one. Or you need to have some programs running that are slowing down your PC. The problem is that in the later parts of the game, in the parts that were added with the DLCs, they also added in some really high quality textures and stuff, and yeah, the problem is that the game starts lagging like hell in these parts, and it's actually the hardest part of the game. And it really sometimes gets intense just because your frames per second drop to like 10 or 5 and you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, we now killed the first mandatory bosses, the Gorgons. They are quite okayish for a boss. They die pretty fast here because I obviously have too many skill points, and for that reason I have too strong skills. My skills are too strong for them. But skills just can carry you over a certain amount of the run, and we will pass that point quite soon. Okay, that should be enough. If I don't stop here. Yes. Oh yeah, I talked earlier about resetting the character to get the glitch done. What I'm doing here is I start using a dashing skill, the Thunder Strike. If I use the Thunder Strike, my character is faster, and then after using it, I switch my weapons, and then I cancel the Thunder Strike, and that's what gives me the movement speed glitch. Another thing that I could go for is getting debuffs, and when the debuffs wear off, then I get them, but it's not really reliable. So I normally go for the dash because it also has a quite short cooldown, so the glitch wears off as soon as you stop moving. So I sometimes need to do the glitch more often, and I sometimes, yeah, I just sometimes stop at a wall or at an obstacle, and it's not really nice if I'm not able to get the glitch then again. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, there are some graphic bugs here in this area. I don't know why they are still in there. The devs did a really good job in fixing actual bugs lately, but they actually don't fix that one. I don't know why. Ooh, that's nice.
Mysterious warrior.
Got a blue shield there. That's worth some money, and we could need some money for potions. So then again, let's take some damage.
But the devs haven't fixed anything that would affect the speedrun, or how is about that?
They actually fixed the skill point duplication. I'm running on a downpatched version right now. The skill point duplication is fixed. In my opinion, it's actually good that they fixed it in the newer versions, because on some point we had to downpatch anyways, and I've seen so many people that are asking, how can I do this glitch, how can I do this glitch? And I always said, don't do it in multiplayer, it will ruin the game of the other players in the multiplayer. And guess what they did? They obviously used it in multiplayers, and they had overpowered chars in multiplayer modes. And yeah. So it's actually good for the sake of the multiplayer of Titan Quest that they fixed the skill point duplication. And yeah, for the speedrun we can still downpatch the game, so it's not that bad. There's also one other glitch that they... It's funny because they fixed it in one patch, and it's the patch that I'm running on. And they fixed one specific glitch that we used to clip through walls. And instead of doing that, we discovered that they added a hotkey. And it's nice that I'm saying this right now, because I'm showing you the hotkey in a second. There we go. The hotkey is titled Reset Player, and it happens sometimes that the player gets stuck. So they implemented this hotkey as a method to unstuck the player. And how did they do this? There are several actor locations in the game. For example, an enemy spawn or a chest. And how the reset player works is this hotkey just teleports you instantly to the next actor location. And sometimes you just can teleport through walls, or you can just teleport over a distance that's really worth it doing it. And it's really fun because they fixed the wall clipping, and we actually can actor teleport through every wall that we used to clip through. Before it was a kind of difficult setup, and now we're just pressing one button to get through the walls. So yeah, that's already the final boss for the first act. And I got it. So that should be enough for... yeah. I actually hit a level up there, that's not good. I don't want to hit that many level ups. At least at specific points of the run I don't want to hit a level up. That would be one. Because when I get a level up, I get myself healed. And that means that I'm losing my speed. So I'm going to Act 2 now, and what I do is instantly do an actor warp, because they disabled all the actors in the town as possible locations for an actor warp, and that's how I get out of town faster. Because I just can warp out there. You'll see me do actor warps at multiple times in the run. So now we're in Egypt, the second act. we already left Greece. We will go back to Greece later in the game. The last act that was added with the Ragnarök, with the first expansion that we're also running in this category, that starts off in Greece again.
So these were Medusas. I always wondered what these creatures were.
Yes, they were Medusas actually. We also killed a Talkine already. We will kill 2 more Talkines. And there are actually multiple other mystical creatures that are in the game. Some of them we will see, some of them we will not see. Actually, there is also the Hydra, but that's only on the legendary difficulty. So, if you don't know Titan Quest, it's similar to Diablo 2. You can play through the game 3 times. In Diablo 2 you have normal difficulty, nightmare and hell. Here in Titan Quest you have normal, epic and legendary, which is exactly the same. And there are some bosses that actually only spawn on the higher difficulties. So you have to play through the game 1 time to get to the higher difficulty, and then you can actually encounter the more difficult bosses, which is nice.
Do the Hydra's heads regrow?
No, sadly not.
What an inaccuracy.
Yeah, but yeah, there are some inaccuracies in the game, so the creative department of the game, they took some freedom. So I just hit level 8, and level 8 is interesting because I now can choose a second skill tree. So that's the point for me where I just do a little bit more skill point duplications. So just freeze the game, and oh, that was a very short freeze. So that should be about enough. 72, yeah, that's okay. Okay, we got everything that we need. And I guess the last stuff we will add to strength. So if you know the game, normally when you reach Memphis, the town that we are in right now, you normally should take a rather big round trip to Fayum and Geyser and take 2 items there. I don't really feel like doing that, so I just teleported through the wall. We used to clip through that wall, now we can just teleport through it. It's really convenient for us just to press 1 button instead of doing a rather complicated clip with a Colossus form. It's a skill on the defense mastery where your character gets bigger and you can just stand next to a wall in the correct location, and then you can activate the Colossus form, and then you're in the hitbox of the wall, and then you can just walk through it. But as I said, with the patch 2.7, that's the patch where I'm running on, they actually fixed it. But funnily enough, it was exactly the patch where they added the hotkey that we use for the actor warps. So the people of you who actually know Titan Quest, they might wonder, why is he going to the Tomb of Ramses? Can't he do an actor warp in Thebes? Well, I could technically, but you actually have to kill the second Talkine, because that gives you a for that an NPC gives you an item, and you need this item to actually leave the second act. So we could go to the end of the second act, but we cannot pass through it because we need that one item that we're getting right here in Thebes again. And we only get that if we kill the second Talkine.
You defeat.
Ooh, that's actually neat. Guess I need to take a little bit more damage. Yeah, I can do that here. Should be enough already. Okay. So let's get going. So, and that's the final boss of the second act. We have a total of 5 acts here. Cool. And by the way, no, it wasn't the stream that was lagging, it was the PC. For some reason, that boss starts to lag out sometimes. So at the start of Act 3 we just did another actor warp. Which is your favorite act? It's interesting. I kinda like Act 2 because it's... you know, for the speedrun I used to hate Act 3 because this act here, it's a really long level and the maps are just designed in a way that you cannot go any further way that you need to go. So it's a long but very slim level. And I don't really like to have almost only the path and almost nothing beside it. And in the very old days of Titan Quest speedrunning, it was like 15 minutes of straight off just following the path. Act 3. And Act 2 is the total opposite of that. And that's the reason why I pretty like Act 2.
Go safely.
And we actually have a pretty good standing with the health bar right now. Because we have quite a low health bar, and as I said, this path that I'm running on, it used to be almost 15 minutes walking. When we reach Chang'an, you can watch the timer now, it's 27 minutes. When we reach Chang'an, I'll notice you and it will be a lot shorter than it used to be. Just because we're walking so much faster right now. So yeah, Act 3, we left Egypt and then we're going to the Middle East and then over the Himalaya mountains over to China. That's the way that we're currently doing. I actually forgot to talk to one specific NPC. I wanted to do that for the marathon run, because that NPC is kind of a meme. He was in the last village that we passed through, and he gives you a quest to kill a big yeti, and he actually starts talking to you with the sentence, "Have you seen a yeti?" And the funny thing is, just before you get into this village, there's a zone, there's an area where multiple yetis can spawn. So it will be really likely that this question just looks dumb, because you will say, yeah, of course, I just killed like 20 of them. And yeah, I just passed by the giant yeti that he wanted us to kill, and it kind of gets a meme in my stream that we're asking each other, "Hey, have you seen a yeti?" when you're passing it. Quite lame jokes, but if you're just running through a game like that, and the game doesn't even get hard right now, it's not even hard right now, then you just have to keep yourself with some lame jokes. I could actually stop right now to get some damage. But, oh, I did it again. Yes, so I just went under the Great Wall. I don't know how this can happen. It just can happen sometimes. It's just funny. Within the newer versions of the game, you just can clip through some objects. Some objects, I think, got already fixed again. But then again, there are multiple new objects where you can just clip in. And most of them don't really help you in the speedrun. I just clipped into the Great Wall. And it's not really helpful to run under the Great Wall. You should run on it. Trust me, I tried running under the Great Wall. You can follow the whole path, but you don't get out of it. So luckily I didn't get stuck into one of the bridges. That can also happen sometimes. So yeah, now we're already reaching Chang'an, and we just used 4 minutes instead of the like 15 minutes that we had to use earlier in the earlier stage of the game. But that was before the anniversary edition got released, so that's multiple years back. So I just did another actor warp. That saves about 5 minutes again, because we don't need to go to the Yellow Emperor because of this, and we can just finish off Act 3. By the way, we are now getting into the zone where the skill points only cannot really carry you through the run. And guess what? We don't have any equipment, so now it starts getting a little bit tougher. Okay.
On this occasion, I would like to remind all of our viewers that we are raising funds for Save the Children here during SpeedCon. And as you all know, we are currently in a unprecedented global pandemic, and Save the Children, they are doing tremendous work helping these children which are in need and do not have all the, the supplies and the security we have. And but not just these children, they help everybody around the world. and it's really a good cause. So if you feel that every person should stay healthy and get safe through this COVID-19 pandemic, it would be really nice act of you to donate a few bucks towards SpeedCon and Save the Children. And because every little bit helps, every dollar helps, and don't feel bad if you can't afford much, but it's a really great cause. So don't let anything discourage you to donate.
Yeah, of course. So, we already are at the final boss of the original Titan Quest game. Hello, Typhon, how are you? Actually, the enemies the bosses were made stronger in the later versions of the game. Since the Anniversary Edition got released, they improved almost every boss. And right now we're at a state, I mentioned there are 3 difficulties. I mentioned that earlier. And right now we're at a state where this boy here, Typhon, is, I would say, kinda the same difficulty as in the original Immortal Throne version, or in the original Titan Quest version. The Typhon on epic difficulty was. It's about the same difficulty, so it's not really nice to have him. This teleport through the walls is also working on multiplayer. Yes, it is working on multiplayer as far as I know. I actually haven't tried on multiplayer, but it's a regular hotkey, so I would be surprised if it doesn't work. You just have to check the hotkeys. It's a kind of new hotkey. I think it's the last or the second last hotkey. It says reset player. It's unbound by default, but you can just assign it. So, we're now in the old Immortal Throne area, which is partly Greece again. We're now in the Ixian Forest, and yeah. We are now heading to the Grey Sisters, which are the first really boss. Thank you. No problem. You're welcome. Just one warning for you. If you use that hotkey, it teleports you to the next actor location. Funnily enough, all chests, all bone stacks are also actors. And sometimes it can happen that you teleport into a bone pile and you're stuck in the bone pile and you can't get out of it, because resetting the player would you teleport into the next actor location, which is the bone pile that you're standing in. So the unstuck hotkey actually can stuck you sometimes. It's really, really annoying if you get that. That's the reason when I get into a city, into a new act, I normally use the unstuck hotkey immediately to get out of the town, because the actors in the town don't count. So you get teleported over quite of amount. Oh, I died there. Over quite of a distance, and yeah, sometimes it doesn't just fit. So you just get stuck into a bone pile, which is the reason why I won't teleport out of the town that we're hitting next, because there it happens quite often that you can stuck into a bone pile. So let's just see, Medea's Grove. We are used to many things. Yeah, Titan Quest is a little bit broken. Okay.
I think I have it now.
That's
Easy here. Try
That's
fighting
it.
with all these women who can turn you into a mouse. So long.
I see pain and
so. What I'm doing now is give me a little bit of health for safety. If I hit like 5k or 6k health, that should be enough. Yeah, 5.7 is quite good. Maybe I will do as well. Normally I use like 5k in the later parts of the run. I'm doing it a little bit earlier than I'm doing it normally. Because just for safety. And if you could just watch it how fast I drop my health right now. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Because the enemies start doing so much damage. I also don't have any dexterity, and dexterity is like the best defensive attribute. But the big problem is that I need to get much damage on some occasions. Because I need to damage myself down to under 40% of my maximum health. If I'm reading this message that says it's not like Titan Quest is not a totally unbugged game, and then I'm looking at the run speed that I currently have, the movement speed, it just feels like that person is right. That should be enough. So let's get through one of the longer walking parts between Charon and Cerberus. And yes, we are currently going into Hades. Well, actually we already are in Hades. We just crossed the Styx, which is kind of funny because I mentioned earlier the creative team took a little bit of freedom, and we just fought Charon, who got a little bit mad because someone wanted to build a bridge over the Styx, and that would render him jobless. So that's why Charon occupied the bridge and let no one pass. I'm quite surprised that devs seem to have fixed it, because at that point where it just was, over many versions of the game, it just started lagging for no reason. So I walked up these stairs and somehow my frames per second just dropped to like 5. I always did this joke like, yeah, goodbye for FPS, it was nice to have you. But nowadays it's just working, which is good. I somehow dropped the movement speed glitch here. Now we got it again. Okay. Let's see. So we now get near, well, actually we don't get near, well, we get nearer to the Tower of Justice. That one is quite interesting because that also was a really long walking part, the Tower of Justice. There were 5 floors in the tower, and each floor in the old Immortal Throne version used to be about 1 minute of walking. So the tower alone was just 5 minutes. And with all the new movement speed techniques, and one really interesting thing is the devs actually removed 2 of the floors. So when we enter the store, that I just did, when we enter the store we don't get to the 5th floor or the 5th domain. We get to the 3rd domain already. And that's nice. So it shows that the devs of the game also did think about various aspects of the game. Also the aspects, if you think about it, this is the Immortal Throne area. So originally Immortal Throne was released in 2007, and they adjusted the Tower of Judgment in 2017 or 2018. They did these adjustments in the Anniversary Edition that actually remove 2 of the domains. Because they said, yeah, it's just too long. So, now we're getting to one of the... Well, I have to show it. Yeah, I have to show it. I might die here. This is Cerberus. He's also a quite interesting figure, balancing-wise, what the devs did for balancing. Actually, he's not giving it to me. It's interesting. So Cerberus, he does a lot of poison damage and a lot of fire damage. In the old Immortal Throne versions, the fire damage used to be much more than the poison damage. And they did make him harder. They did make him more difficult, as they did with all bosses in this area. And the way they did it was they just increased the poison damage like hell. So normally you can see your health bar just dropping like nothing. It just drops out of nowhere. And there's nothing you can do because you're poisoned. And I just wanted to show it, how fast you can die there. He didn't give it to me this time. That's kind of sad. Oh, but I did miss a revive fountain. That's not good. Okay, I now have to do this again. Oh, I didn't miss a revive fountain, I just teleported over it, and there's no second revive fountain until the point where I died. Or is there? Oh no, there's one. That one. So yeah, obviously the deaths aren't really good. It can happen sometimes, especially in this area. They made almost all enemies more difficult compared to the old versions of the game. It also feels like they are making them more difficult in every single patch. When I started running Titan Quest on the Anniversary Edition, it didn't feel as unfair as it feels nowadays with the newer versions. We will see some enemies later. The enemies normally do similar similar skills. They have similar skills than that you can have. And they are... Some enemies are using a skill from Defense Mastery, the Shield Batter. Except for the fact that they don't have any cooldown on it. Which is really annoying, because that one can stun you. And they can stun you like mad. Actually, maybe shouldn't do that. They maybe should deal more damage like this. Okay. Actually get myself a little bit more intelligence. Okay.
Please, mortal human. I bless you, warrior.
Okay. So now we are in Hades Palace. And that's getting really interesting, because here are the enemies that can really screw you run over. There are also 3 doors, and I need to open these doors, and the really annoying enemies are just standing in front of these doors. So that one is open, that's nice. The first one there is always open, but now it gets interesting. And yeah, he stunned me already. But after that he was friendly, thank you. Oh yeah, look at the enemies behind me. They are just using the shield barrier with no actual cooldown. It's so annoying. And if they hit me, they stun me. So let's see. I did manage to get through. Yep. Now I got the speed glitch again. And there's one more door to get through. And that's this one. And yeah, I knew it. I knew that I'm gonna die at one of these doors. It was too obvious. Yeah, head first into a shield batter. That's still not the best movement speed that I can have. Oh yeah, I know why it's not. Now I got it. He almost got me there again. Okay, and that's the final boss of the original game. Hello, Hades. Well, the original game and the Immortal Throne. The Immortal Throne. I almost said DLC, but it was an expansion pack back then. It was an actual expansion pack. We didn't use the term DLC when it got released. You know a game is old when you say expansion pack instead of DLC.
Back in the days when you couldn't download games.
Yeah.
When you had to buy them physically.
Yeah.
That being said, I do have a donation right here, so if now would be a good time.
Yeah, go for it.
Eugen32 donates $10 saying, due to the pandemic, my husband and me have to stay home. We started to play a lot of Titan Quest again, which never gets boring because of all these bugs. So watching this speedrun is a lot of fun. take good care and stay home too. And most important, don't get stuck in a bone pile. Greetings from a gamer couple in Germany. Thank you very much for the donation.
It's good to hear the get stuck in a bone pile, because I just teleported into this chest down there, and it's good because these chests are like one of the few chest models where you can't get stuck in there. That's good. I was wondering, like, I knew that I would teleport to that location, and I was wondering, like, oh heck, do I get stuck there, or am I fine? So yeah, we're now in the Ragnarök area already, and that's for yeah, that's the part of the game that got added in. Out of my head, I don't know when Ragnarök actually was released. I think it was 2017. Yeah, I think it was 2017. Oh, I actually died there, which is quite okay-ish. I need to get back to Corinth anyways, so that's okay. So now talk to Ariston and
It must be you.
talk to Ilva. And yeah, then we are ready to almost get stuck in the next chest. And yeah, you instantly notice that something is different, because before you never actually fought against humans. So the first thing that you notice when you get into the Ragnarök area is, hey, there's a bunch of bandits. And it was kind of surprising for me to actually see enemy humans in the game. But it was also a bit funny because they have some sound effects for the enemies. You always hear sounds from the enemies, and they are just saying the same stuff over and over again, and yeah, some of the lines are pretty funny. Actually, I don't know really the English lines, because I normally play this game in German. So there we are. Let's travel to the north. You have noticed maybe that I did fight Ketos, which was a boss on the outside of Corinth, and then I teleported out of Corinth to get to the harbor where I just went out. I technically could get to the harbor before fighting Ketos, without fighting Ketos. And well, I could do that, but the NPC that is at the harbor would not spawn before I have defeated Ketos. So that's why it's important to get the kill on Ketos, actually. So now it's getting a little bit interesting, because I'm not that familiar with the paths that I have to take in the Ragnarök area, and it's now dark in game, so I don't see that much. Let's just hope when I get to the woods that it's day again. Oh yeah, here's follow the river. That's easy. Follow the river once, get the right side. Follow the river twice. Get over here. And after the second fountain, it's getting right on the hills. Yeah. That's how I normally remember the paths that I need to take. And it's still nighttime in game, and we're in the woods. That can get annoying now. Yeah.
What a horrible night to have a curse.
Yeah.
To get a bit of a Castlevania reference in here.
Yeah. But it fits, actually.
Your journey ends here.
I don't think so, NPC. He actually said, your journey ends here.
Kill him.
So... yeah, the Ragnarök area. I was really happy when I learned about this new DLC for Titan Quest. A, because a new DLC for Titan Quest is always good. I always loved this game. I was really happy when they released the Anniversary Edition, and I started playing it really much again. And then out of nowhere, well, yeah, you have to mention how THQ Nordic just drops the DLCs. Other companies are going like, yeah, in 1.5 years we will release blah. THQ Nordic with Titan Quest, they just go, oh yeah, by the way, there's a new DLC. It's available now. You can just play it. And with that, they just dropped 2 DLCs, Atlantis and Ragnarök. Well, the first DLC being Ragnarök and then Atlantis. Actually, I kinda expected that they would do Atlantis, or that they would do a DLC. Not exactly that they would do Atlantis as a DLC, but I expected that they would do a new DLC because they announced a little bit more working together with Pieces Interactive, which was the developer studio that just released that did the Ragnarök DLC. So with they announced that they worked together again with the devs that did the first DLC. So I was just expecting, so maybe they do a second one, and they did. But then again, they did just. They announced, yeah, we're working with Pieces Interactive again, and 3 or 4 months later it was, yeah, here's a new DLC, by the way. And yeah, when I learned that they made a Ragnarök, I was happy because the Nordic mythology, well, they mess a lot around with mythology, you know, mixing up the Egypt and the Chinese mythology with the Greek mythology. Okay, not really something that you would expect, but it fits the game. And mixing the Nordic mythology in it felt good. It felt like, yeah, they can pull it off to make it good. And yeah, that's why I was happy, and I think they did a really good job there. So yeah, right now we have to kill 4 sub-bosses. And these 4 sub-bosses, they are very annoying. Actually, I did go the wrong way here. Did I? Yes, I did. So that's the second sub-boss. Each of them can kill us pretty easily. you might notice how fast my my health bar drops. If these waves hit me, I'm pretty much done. Yeah, as I said, if these waves hit me, I'm pretty much done. And yeah, we were in the Weser uplands, and yes, Weser's in the chat, and I already did this joke to him, so yes, that's the second one. 2 more to go. The third one is annoying, the fourth one is kind of the easiest one of all 4. Because he's alone and he doesn't have any he doesn't have any more enemies besides himself in the area. Oh, that was close. Well, it wasn't close, it was precise. I'm speedrunning and it worked. If it works, it's not close, it's precise. That was the wrong way. Maybe I should go down here. And yeah, that's the last one. Okay. So, after these 4, we can actually get the Mistletoe of Nerthus. Yeah, we just picked up a mistletoe. If you know a bit about Nordic mythology and the name of the oh, I almost got stuck into a bone pile. I guess I won't do these strats here. It's a bit risky to do them. So yeah, if you know the mistletoe and the name of the DLC that we are currently playing, you might figure out what's happening. So right now we need some items here. There's a stolen box and we need one more item. If we return all these 3 items to one NPC, then he will yeah, take us on his boat to the next city. There he is.
Yes, I managed very well.
Okay, let's go.
And my beer! Stranger, you are indeed wonderful. Just give me a moment.
Okay, so now we are in Scandia, which is also a pretty nice area. Actually, when I first reached this area while playing Ragnarök, I was yeah, I was surprised by the area because there's a lot of there are multiple zones in this area that you don't actually need to travel to. So there are multiple zones. There's a really big area to the east of us, and we don't actually need to go through this area, and it's a completely optional area, and that's something that you haven't really seen in the original Titan Quest. Which is also good for the speedrun that you don't have to go through this area because it's really huge. And we're now at the next boss. And he just one-shot us. And we're now at the next boom death. I like
think
this.
now I see what you talked about in the beginning, that it gets harder the more it gets to the ending, because enemies will kill you a lot easier.
Yeah, that was exactly one of the enemies that I was talking about. Okay, I actually might for this run go for some additional health. Not now, but yeah.
How dare you kill my...
Yeah, I don't get out of here. I just let them kill me because I don't get out of there. I need to get back to Scandia. I could have tried to open the portal right where I picked that item up. But I kind of knew that it wouldn't happen. Yeah. Oh, that's by the way the normal the normal walking speed. This is the regular walking speed for the game if you are at 100% movement speed. Okay, that should be enough. I didn't talk twice to that NPC. Yeah, that's also something really annoying. Sometimes you have to talk to an NPC twice to get further in the main quest. Didn't talk to twice to him, so I had to get back to him and...
Have you got my fur coat? Yes, the boat.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, that's the last ship travel in Ragnarök. And I guess I really go for some more hit points. I really need them. 7.3 times 4 is 2.8. That's about 3k. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, about 3k. That's good. Oh. I'm seeing that we just lost Zed, sadly. Because his internet is acting up again. His connection. Not good. Okay. So, since we already went to Hades, to the land of the deaths in the Greek mythology, I guess we have to like do the same for the Nordic mythology. Oh yeah, by the way, no, your stream is not lagging. For some reason, as soon as the enemies spawn here, you just have like 5 FPS. I don't know why the game is acting up. Like that, but it's always the same. It's always the same that I'm just lagging the hell. Well, the game is lagging the hell. So let's just go to the next boss. It's coming up right here. Yep. One, and there's the last one. Nice. He's down. And yeah. Normally we should go... Well, we talked to the two guys here. And normally we should then do a side quest, go to another area, and then they would open up this passage for us. Luckily we can just actor warp through the door that's blocking the passage. And boom, we're in Asgard. Well, not really in Asgard, we are on Yggdrasil right now. So yeah, we can get to Asgard pretty fast. That actor warp just saves like 2 or 3 more minutes, because we don't have to go into the next into the next area. I almost thought my game crashed there. It can happen sometimes. So now we're in Glatzheim. Taste my axe. No, no. I don't think it would taste really good.
Asgard will never fall.
So coming up right now is one of the harder boss fights, and it's actually interesting because since the release of Ragnarök, this boss fight actually got more difficult. And how did it get difficult? Well, you're just fighting 4 guys instead of 3. So now we have a little bit more trouble. I hope I don't mess up in this boss fight. Super comfy chat. Yeah, it's not really much going on in chat. As I said, I'm reading the chat, so if you want to chat a little bit with me, just feel free. So here is Ylva again, and she wants to get rescued, and now we're getting into the boss fight versus Tyr, Freya, Wodan, and Baldur. And the bad thing is Baldur cannot be targeted right now, so he doesn't lose any hit points. So Freya is still living, and Baldur is the only one left. Give me some damage, Baldur. Come on. Nice, thanks. Okay, now I can damage him, and yeah, we just killed Baldur, and it turned out we killed Baldur with a mistletoe, and it turned out Ylva was Loki all the way. And yeah, what happens when Loki kills Baldur in the Nordic mythology? Right, we have Ragnarök. We normally should... So this is one of the more funny... actor warps. Because normally we should escort Wodan to Bifrost, and then have a little chat with Heimdall, have a little chat with Wodan again, and then Heimdall would open Bifrost to get to the Land of the Giants. Turns out we can just actor warp through the barrier and walk on the invisible Bifrost to the Land of the Giants, which saves another like 2 minutes because Wodan is really slow in walking. And so the only thing I just did was I remembered the path. I memorized the path that I need to take on Bifrost, and I just walked on the invisible bridge. It normally is the normal Bifrost, so it would be like a rainbow road there. Are you from Bavaria? It was a Maskrook. Yes, it was a Maskrook. But don't worry, I'm not actually drinking beer. It's regular apple juice. It hurts to say that I'm from Bavaria, actually. I'm Franconian. But for the sake of German states, it is in the state of Bavaria, yes. So let's see. Okay, there we go. So here at this point we have 2 alternate routes that we can take, and I figured out quite late that this route is actually faster to get to this point. So, and now we're entering the second labyrinth. The first labyrinth you didn't see that much from the first labyrinth because I actor warped through like everything of it. Now we're in Mimer's Maze. I still haven't figured out where exactly I need to go in Mimer's Maze, which is kind of funny. I have done like 50 Ragnarök runs and I'm still getting confused in this maze. But I think I got it here. Yeah, that's the right way.
There we are. When is it?
Oh, that was actually the right one. It might be that I'm a little bit screwed right now. I didn't talk to Mimer. I don't know if I need to talk to Mimer. No, I don't have to. Okay, that's good. Good to know. Saves me like 2 seconds in the next run. So, should I go for the safe strats? Well, no, let's go. This enemy also deals a lot of poison damage, Nidhogger. He can deal a ton of poison damage, and I don't want to get into that. So what I do normally is use the Herbal Remedy skill. It's a self buff that I can use because it's a self buff from the Hunting Mastery, and I'm using the Hunting Mastery here. So I could use that self buff. The problem with it is it also increases my It also increases my my health regeneration, and we want to stay on low health because yeah, that's what makes us that fast in the first place. So if I have a high health regeneration, I would have to stop more often in order to get damage, which is kinda annoying. Okay, so let's go. There's the fire shrine. I need to kill this boss once. On a 123 right now. We don't have that much left. Ooh, no. I better just use another health potion. I have 46 potions left. That's enough for the rest of the run. I was worried a little bit, but we did get quite good drops there. Okay, and now we are in Land's End. And Land's End, that's the final area of the game. And here we have Ylva. She's fighting us. Well, not really. I actually died there. Well, not good. So, hello again, Ylva. Or should I say, hello again, Loki? Yeah. Oh, he's on fire right now. Damn, I should have brought the choke-blood sword. So, just a few more floors to cover. We need to get up this tower, or this fortress. We're in the upper ring right now. I think it's one more. Yeah, it's one more. Yep, and here we are, the backside of Land's End. And it's time for the final boss. So, here we are. This is Sword. I should have used the he's on fire joke here. Really should have done that. So that's the first phase, but actually that's not even his final form. No, maybe I shouldn't stay there. Right side first, yes. Okay, so a quick notice for the tag. Time is coming up rather soon. So just need to kill this boss, and then I have 2 more portals to go through. So one portal. And then we have to talk to Wodan again. And again, and again, and time! Yes! Yeah. There we go. This is Titan Quest Ragnarök. About half an hour faster than I did 2 years ago. Just because we found some new stuff. And yes. Yeah, so I wanted to show off this run. Actually, the first thought I had was, yeah, I just need to show the shorter category because we have a category that only requires you to kill Hades. So I normally would say, yeah, the Hades run is enough. But then we figured out the invisible bridge in the invisible Bifrost teleport, and I was like, I need to show this. So that's why normally for the on-site SpeedCon I only had the Hades run in, but when the submissions went online for the offline SpeedCon, the online SpeedCon, I only submitted the Ragnarök run because I wanted to show it off. And yeah, that's it from my part. Thank you, Zed, for yeah, commentating with me a bit.
I didn't have much to say, but thank you for having me.
It's always nice if someone is there and sometimes can say a little bit more to it. And yeah, even though your internet dropped a little bit, but yeah, it's marathon luck, I guess.
Well,
yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. I can't even talk right now. So see you.
all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Tiger, for your run of.